All right, guys, a very warm welcome to everyone to our Q1 report for 2021. So this session for today is very special because we also have Danny, my co-founder and CFO, to join us on the event. Of course, it is even made more meaningful because of our progress recently. So we will dive in and talk a lot about different things, including some of the sharing that Danny will make about tokenomics. So guys, right now it is still 1st of April for some of you in a different time zone. So let me just share with you that whatever that we will be saying will be implemented so it is not April's Fool. And for those of you that are celebrating Easter, as to in Singapore, whereby it's a public holiday, I would like to wish you a happy Easter. So guys, let's dive in. All right, so for today's agenda, we have a few agenda on the plate. The first one is that we will talk about XPOS deployment and also more incentive to use XPOS. Second, we will talk about the Pundi X token, which we recently swapped, and also talk about the quarterly burn and also buyback. Of course, one thing that everyone is waiting is actually the staking. So we will also talk about details of the staking. Lots of stuff happening with the new Pundi X token, including some of the things that Danny will share, how we can make the utility of the new Pundi X token even more useful. The third is an app that we have all been waiting for, and it has officially gone live on Google Play and also Apple Store. The FX wallet is a non-custodial on-chain wallet that will have lots of features, including the staking that we will all be using very soon. Some of you have done the denomination and the swap on FX wallet. So an introduction about FX wallet, including the crypto bank features that we have. We are very excited because this wallet is a one-stop for everything. The fourth one is actually the function X Mainnet. So this is the one last thing that we will share that is finally coming to fruition. I'm very, very excited about this. So before we dive into this four topic, I would like to take the chance to also talk to Danny. So hello, Danny.
Hi, Zach, and hi everyone. I'm Danny. So very nice to meet you guys at this moment, and happy Easter, everyone.
Great. So actually, Danny is a co-founder and CFO, and many of you have known him. He's been doing a lot of stuff, interesting stuff that is propelling Pundi X and also the foundation to the next level. So let's just dive in and get to know Danny, or should I call Dr. Danny as a person? So
yeah.
How did we start Pundi X together, and how did we meet? So me and you, how did we meet?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Zach, and hello again, everyone. So I'm Danny. So I'm the co-founder and CFO of Pundi X. So I have a background in finance and accounting and legal. And before co-found Pundi X, I also attached with Baidu, which is one of the largest search engine in China, or the largest search engine in Chinese, and Lenovo, one of the biggest PC manufacturer in the world at the moment. So regarding to myself, it's a bit, the story is pretty long, so bear with me. So I basically moved to China in 2007 for study after obtaining a scholarship from Tsinghua University's Beijing. So Tsinghua is, I think, one of the most prestigious universities in China. So during my study, I sort of like show my interest and passion to finance and IT. So I have been trying a lot of stuff like joining competitions and even starting my internship with IT companies. I met Zach on or around 2014 when I was still pursuing my doctorate in Beijing. So I guess maybe we share a similar background and aspiration in fintech. So I decided to join Zach's startup after a few meetups. since then, we have been working together, I guess 6 to 7 years, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, so it was a long journey. So PundiX is actually our third startup. So we have been working, you can see, quite long together. So I can still remember vividly when we had our first startup, when we bootstrapped in a small apartment in Beijing. I guess it's outskirts of Beijing. Then was the apartment was rather small, I would say. And then in order to cut costs, we have to stay. The whole team have to stay in that small apartment, like a garage startups kind. But instead of garage, we actually had our office and in the living room, and then the meeting room is actually just beside our bedroom. So yeah, it's quite fun back then, I would say. So so we have been through all this garage style, and then somehow along the way we saw the technical advancement of China that is able to replicate itself and bring value back to Southeast Asia. So we decided to outbring the whole team and the framework and the technology to Indonesia. And that's how we started PundiX at the beginning. And finally, we relocate and move to our HQ to Singapore in 2019 because we believe that's the location where we can grow fast and grow bigger. I guess that's some sharing I would like to share. So anything you want to add, Zach?
Yeah, I think the experience since 2012, whereby you quit Lenovo and also Baidu, and you were doing your doctorate degree, and me resigning from Opera and to really start a garage startup actually gave me a lot of learning curve. I think that is the same for you, to really start from zero and start from nothing. So I think that has always been our guiding principle, even until today, where we have grown quite a bit.
Yeah, can't agree more.
Yeah. So so you are, some say that you are the person like on the backstage doing a lot of important things. You don't show your face often, but what you do is especially important for the growth of the company, especially when it comes to like the tokens, the numbers. So why don't you share with the audience, especially today, there are so many new Pundi X and also FX holders. There are so many new XPOS users. So I think it's worth for us to like reintroduce ourselves. So tell me, what really is your role in Pundi X?
Yeah, sure. So basically, you guys probably didn't see me quite often on the screen, as in I mostly work on backstage. So and then due to my job scope in PundiX as a CFO, my routine jobs actually is more backstage. So, and in other words, it's quite boring. So I deal with numbers all the time. So my routine job including budgeting, financial planning, risk mitigations, business analysis. So I deal with all the numbers and make sure the companies can go with plans and to do the cost benefit analysis all the time, and some more to help the company and especially the management team to do the right decisions at the right time. So as the number guy, like I said, I believe in statistics. I believe in numbers. So I sometimes will also share my interest and opinion in token modeling and financial analysis with my colleagues in the company, and even our token growth plans. And in order to understand all this token model stuff, as the space has been rapidly changed so much, I will code sometimes, and I will dive into the GitHub to understand what is really happening in the space. And I would try the firms to continue my expertise, but I'm look at the chart, the historical statistics, and the development of technology, especially in China back then. So it was like belongs to me, that belongs that can bring values to the society. It's changed a lot. So I think one of the major changes in China is the disruptions of the banks. So we see the rapid growth of China and the inefficiencies of our financial systems. I think, and then we started to look at what we should dive in to look at it for us. So for example, the current revenue generated by financial institutions. Imagine why take 3 days to process a check or bank transfer if you can do it within seconds with blockchain? And why should you let your banks to take advantages of your bank deposit and loan to someone yourself? So we start to think about people actually trust financial institutions by putting their money with them most of the time because of the trust that backed by several frameworks and regulations. And that trust, I would say, is pretty fragile and expensive, especially when we look at the subprime price, 2008 subprime crisis. So when we started PundiX, we see this inefficiency as a huge opportunity, and at the same time creating great value to society by creating this trustless blockchain network. And we believe this will not only with a faster processing speed and with less cost and less trust. And yeah.
Okay, I think that's very interesting. So some of the viewers have said that the streaming is a little bit slow. So the live stream is not working properly. So I just want to test out the system again. So is it just me or just Danny, or actually the both of us? Yeah, can someone just shout out on the live chat? Can you guys hear me properly? Okay, so when I speak, it's okay, right, guys?
Maybe it's my connections problem, I guess. So give me a second.
Okay, all right. So I think we will dive into the next round. So thank you, Danny, very much. So I think in summary, Danny has been dealing a lot with the tokenomics and the token stuff that many of us see to really ensure that the Pundi X token and also previously the MPXS token and also the FX token can grow healthily. So right now, let's also dive into the main agenda for today, which is XPOS, guys. So let's jump into the slide of the XPOS slide. So as you know, XPOS is our main ecosystem. And because today there are so many new users in our ecosystem, before 2021, we have quite a bit of user, but January, February, and March of 2021, we have seen a huge growth of user base. So I think it's a good chance for us to also introduce, or rather reintroduce, what we do and what XPOS is really about. So shall we go in? All right, let me just confirm, is my internet connection okay? Okay, so yeah, I guess mine is okay. All right, guys, so let's take a look at XPOS. So as many of us know, XPOS is actually a hardware device, but actually XPOS is more than a hardware device. It is actually an ecosystem. Why do I say that? Because apart from XPOS itself, which is a hardware, we are also powering different point of sales around the world. This is something a lot of our user from before knows, but not necessarily the new token holders. So XPOS actually not only powers our hardware, but also leading point of sales globally. Let me take 3 examples. One is actually packs. So Android packs can actually download the Pundi X software from their app store to power Android POS. We are also working with Ingenico and Verifone, whereby the Android POS can actually boot up and also power XPOS software. So these are all very important mechanisms that we do. As you know, the XPOS itself also powers different software, including PayPal here, whereby user of PayPal here in the United States can actually use it to buy and sell cryptocurrency. So these are the partnerships that we have been working on, and therefore XPOS is an expanding ecosystem in itself. So in every quarter's report, we will share with everyone what are the progresses that we have made. So let me take you to the next slide, whereby we share with you some of the progress we have done so far. So let's go to the next slide. So in the next slide, as you can see, we have several merchants working on the partnership. One of it is actually a partnership with the DAI agent network. It's something that we have mentioned before in the previous quarterly report, where we work with MakerDAO to allow countries and also merchants that is interested to spread the usage of stablecoin and also other cryptocurrencies. Therefore, we have created with MakerDAO have created the DAI agent network, whereby we are actively supporting. So let's take a look at the photo on the upper left. This is one of our DAI agent spreading the usage and also getting Ghana to be using not just DAI stablecoin, but also various cryptocurrency in the local market. So Sahabia is working hard on this. And another one that you can see is actually another of our distributor, BTC King. So on the lower left. So BTC King is working in US and also in West African market to roll out the XPOS usage. The XPOS usage use case is actually different in different countries. So it would also be very interesting to study more on how this affects our rollout. We have also seen a pretty interesting uptake in Japan, whereby XPOS is being used in comic stores, in restaurants, and various stores. Some of you have been able to see all these stories on Twitter, whereby live users using XPOS have been sharing. So in fact, for all of you that have been closely following our progress, you know that we are trying to activate 100 merchants in Dubai with our collaboration with ZilaPay. In the US, one very interesting growth has happened is that we have been able to get quite a number of US merchants and also US users into our ecosystem. Also, thanks to the new onboarding of our distributor in US, this particular distributor, Arrow, has also increased its purchases of XPOS. That means we'll be seeing more XPOS, more adoption in the United States. In fact, later on, you will be able to look at some of the numbers which shows a very nice growth in the US market. So in a way, US has awoken to Pundi X. That is very great news. In other parts of the world, a company, Hive, based in Romania with operation globally, has also booked 20,000 XPOS card. So with this XPOS card, they will be storing cryptocurrency and distributing it to their network. So this is also something very interesting. There are a lot of markets that we have been working on. Let me take one example, which shows that how much work and effort we have put in. The country is actually Turkey. So we initially exported XPOS to Turkey quite a while ago. And we had to work very closely with the Custom Office of Turkey to get our XPOS into the market. And right now, we have finally done it. So XPOS is officially in the Turkish market. So these are some of the groundwork that we do to comply with the local regulation, to comply with our own compliance in Singapore, to make sure that the XPOS rollout is successful. We work very closely with distributor, and we hope to build a very strong relationship with the distributor, such as BTC King, Big Kobe, etc. Many of them have known us since 2018. So these are the partners that we work with, and in turn, the partners will empower the local market. There's a lot of things that we do on the ground, including making sure that XPOS is fully compliant. The compliance of our Payment Services Act license makes sure that whenever the distributor works with us, he can work with us in a peace of mind, which is ease of mind, whereby whatever he do, the local regulation will be okay, will be accepting what we do. And therefore, we can safely empower the next group of people, which is the merchant, which is the store, the mom and pop store, the convenience store that you see that uses XPOS. The process is not a short one, but it is an enlightening one. Take, for example, our recent partnership with Arrow, a distributor based in US. We have seen quite a bit of activation in that front, and we have heard very nice stories about it. All right, guys. So these are some of the things that we do with XPOS. Those of you that have been with us for a long time, you are very familiar and you have seen the growth and evolution. And for those of you that are new, I welcome you and we welcome you to our community. And apart from holding our token, we also encourage you to put one XPOS or two XPOS or more in your local community. Be the change you want to see and be the first person in your community or even your country to allow buying and selling of cryptocurrency. I think it's very, very enlightening and very satisfying to know that a cryptocurrency that I own, say NPXS, is spendable in a local store when I buy my coffee. Whether it's a coffee or the next Tesla, it doesn't matter. We start small and we grow big. So guys, one of the interesting things about the quarterly report is actually sharing what goes in the XPOS, what kind of transaction we are seeing and which country top the transaction. So we basically have two categories. One is the top country. So as you can see, US, Uganda, Spain, Canada, Australia are the top 5 countries in the recent quarter. And you can see that the demographics is very varied. You have countries in North America, you have country in West Africa, you have country in Europe and Australasia. So the rollout and the interest is actually global. Of course, different community will have different use cases and different requirements. But what is true is that the adoption is global. Now, what are the crypto sales that we can see on XPOS? We have NPXS is the biggest crypto sale token in XPOS. Not surprising, but taking over the place of BTC. Third is FX, fourth is Ethereum, and fifth is a very interesting token called Arrow. The rise of the crypto sales of the Arrow token with the companies growing the community, the particular token can be very useful in the local community, and in this case, in US. So we have seen quite a bit of crypto sales of the Arrow token, which is recently listed on our XPOS and now ranked number 5. NPXS is ranked number 1. I guess, again, not surprising. In fact, I've shared on Twitter that recently someone in Africa In fact, I believe more than one person have bought over $1,000 worth of MPXS by visiting a store using either fiat currency or credit card to purchase it right in the merchant store. And he bought it at a very nice time in terms of value appreciation, and on top of spending cryptocurrency. So what are the cryptocurrency that is being used? Fourth one, we see a resurrection in the NEM token, the NEM coin FX token. So these are some of the very interesting facts that XPOS presents. And as we expand to different markets, we have received a few in weeks' time. And with that, I think it's huge uptake in the US market. Right now, it's an all-time high. We haven't seen this kind of followed by Spain, Indonesia, India, Brazil, Netherlands is also one that has grown considerably. And also France, South Korea, and Russia. The most download countries are US, South Korea. We have seen South Korea increasingly downloading X Wallet, Indonesia, Brazil, India, Turkey, Philippines, Netherlands, UK, and Japan. One interesting thing is that from Q4 2020 to Q1 2021, we have seen a 600% in terms of X Wallet growth. That's very interesting. Later on, I also want to bring you to attention the difference between X Wallet and FX Wallet. So this is an image that one of our community author, Claudio, shared with us. So Claudio shared with us this data, which I find it very meaningful. We have a 700%, a 7,000% price increase in the token, but that is not just that. We have seen a huge increase in terms of social media engagement. In places like Reddit, Twitter, etc., we have seen a huge growth whereby people are either talking about our product or our token. So that gives us a lot of satisfaction. And I want to take the chance to again thank the early holders, the holders from our ICO 2018. So you are, or we are now the senior people guiding the new holders in the market, which we have seen many people joining the community in the past 3 months in 2021. So these are some of the interesting facts. Our Zendesk right now has been inundated with so many user requests. So if our Zendesk is actually slower than is expected, I want to take this time to apologize. Do know that we are diligently working on it. Our team is actually spending a lot of time working extra hours to make sure that your support is being attended to. All right, so I think these are some of the overview and some of the progress that we have had on the XPOS front, on the X Wallet front, and also on our social media engagement front. So this sets the stage to the next thing that we want to talk about. So shall we move to the next page? All right, so we see that there are a lot of people commenting on the YouTube channel as well. Many are our Korean friends. So I think today is also a public holiday in Korea. Easter, I guess, is also a public holiday in Korea. So I see lots of comments over there. Someone is asking about Samsung and etc. All right. Okay. So Indra just pinged me and said that I'm having a bit of lag. So I just want to make sure I am okay. So can someone tell me on YouTube that it's okay. It works. Yeah. If you can hear properly, just say yes. Okay, it's clear, right? Ask RZ, say it's clear. Gazua, okay. So is it clear, guys? Like, can I get another confirmation? Okay, let me ask the team as well. Okay, all right, so it's confirmed, it's clear. The screen is clear. All right, okay, so guys, let's move on to the next focus. So incentivize crypto usage, XPOS mining. So shall we jump to the next page? All right, so many of us know that what XPOS can do, right? Basically, you can accept crypto payment, you can use it to spend your crypto. Some of the models allow the usage of credit card, bank card, and not just on our own XPOS hardware, but also leading point of sales company can activate our software. So this is the understanding so far of XPOS. But for those of you that follow us closely, you know that it has always been our vision to make XPOS a node, a mining device, a device that can earn reward for actively participating in governance. This is something that we have mentioned before. It's something that we always wanted to do. And I think it is time to put a timeline to make this happen. That is why we call it an incentivized crypto usage, XPOS mining. We don't have a name yet, but on top of our mind, I was talking to Danny. We were thinking, we could call it XPOS as a mining service. Of course, the community can come up with a cooler name, so we can again engage the community and find a cool name. But let's dive into the concept and see what it means exactly. All right, so let's not understand XPOS as just a device. It is also an operating system. It is able to sell crypto just like it is able to sell mobile credit, gift card, game credit. And on top of that, it is able to be switched on 24/7, to be participating as a delegator or a validator to the Function X mainnet, which means that the more XPOS is powered up to function as a validator, the more secure the mainnet is. So what we will do is that we realize there are always challenges to roll out XPOS in the local market. And many of the distributor and merchant has been really working very hard. And right now, we want to make it even better for you. In Q2 and Q3, we will figure out a way to incentivize XPOS as a mining machine. And we will announce on a specific date, probably in Q2, a timeline whereby for a continuous 180 days, XPOS distributor and XPOS merchant will be able to earn FX and Pundi X token reward when their XPOS is being powered on and also being used actively, which means that XPOS merchant will not just be making money from the crypto transaction, the profit sharing portion, but also earning reward as a mining machine on XPOS. So this is the concept. The veteran guys, the senior guys in the community, you know who you are. You already know we have this idea. We've talked about it. We didn't manage to have time to implement it because, to be fully frank, the engineering tech team, Pete, and the tech team has been, fully flooded with so many things to do. So, but I think with the upcoming launch of the mainnet, it is time to make XPOS a mining machine. And with that, we will incentivize merchants and distributor for 180 days at least to get FX and Pundi X reward on top of the profit that you earn from crypto sales and crypto pay. This is super exciting. And in fact, what we want to do is that many of the distributors that have been working with us has been very hard at work. So we might at some point, we probably will at some point increase the price of XPOS for new distributor, but not the existing distributor. So the new price point hasn't been agreed yet, but what I want to convey, or what we want to convey today, is that XPOS will have more usage and XPOS will sell more, will be used more, and it will be deployed more, because now XPOS is not just a point of sales, crypto usage ecosystem, but it will be turned on its very special function, which is a mining device. And we will start first by mining FX and Pundi X token. So this is what we mean by XPOS mining. So let's move on to the next stage, which is the Pundi X token. So as you know, as many of you have done, we have started redenominating MPXS token to the Pundi X token, a 1,000 to 1 non-inflation system. So let's dive in to understand what this really means and why it will be very helpful to our ecosystem. So now we need to catch Danny again, and hopefully his internet connection works well. So Danny, are you still with us?
Yes, guys. I just want to test my internet whether it's fine and any lagging from. Yeah, if yes, if it's working fine, please punch yes and on the screen and let me know. Is it okay? Let me check with the team. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
all right. I think we can try to start, and I will see how it goes. So,
yeah.
Okay. So one thing that we want to talk is why, right? Why did we do this redenomination? I mean, we have been discussing on the background for more than 6 months, right? And we realized that it is born out of necessity that we do it, and we truly feel that it is the right thing to do to create more adoption. So we started discussing internally, and we actually shared with the community, and we have done a poll, result pooling, whereby people actually share whether they agree or disagree with the token redenomination. And the result was, I think, over 85% agreed on the redenomination. And I think one thing that we are really lucky is that a lot of guys in the community actually understand and learn about the reasons behind it. And that's why we have received such a tremendous support to do the redenomination. And honestly, Danny, it's been reflected on the price as well, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and tell us what's the impact of the supply reduction to our holders and why are we doing this?
Yeah, thanks, Zach. And I hope my internet works well right now.
Yeah.
So basically, for the impact of the MPXX or Pundi X token after the redenominations of the supply reductions, basically nothing has changed except for two things. First, the ticker changed from MPXX to Pundi X, and secondly, the number of tokens will be divided into 1,000. So let's say before for MPXX, the token supply is 258 billion. But right now, after the token redenominations, the total token supply of Pundi X token is 258 million. So nothing has changed. The value remain unchanged. The only thing changed is the number you will see appear on your screen. So if you are holding 0.1% of the token supply of MPXX, you will still holding 0.1% of the token supply of Pundi X. So in the other words, if you're holding $10 worth of Pundi X, you are holding $10 of MPXX. So they are interlinked and they are the same, except the numbers you see will change. So I will dive into why we want to do this. So for everyone who has been following our Medium posts, we actually stated a few reasons, and one of them is to accelerate to this DeFi journey. By conducting these token redenominations, we will be able to tap into the existing decentralized finance structure and fit better to the future developments of our mainnet. So for example, most of the order books in exchanges, they're only providing 6 to 8 decimals point trading tick. So before February, MPXX was trading at 0.0004, which is 4 stats and 5 stats. So each steps actually has a 25% gap or price spread. And this will easily trigger the liquidation point and wipe out the principal under existing DeFi structure. So it is more toward a must instead of a nice to have measure if you want to excel and accelerate to our DeFi journey. So imagine right now, if you collateralize $100 worth of MPXX to get a loan of $50, and your MPXX might get liquidated easily just for two stats fluctuations. So imagine you go out for coffee, then after that, your positions has been liquidated. You'll be losing your MPXX just for the market fluctuations. Hence, we are thinking and then after taking a lot of factor into considerations, we think this redenominations is a must for us to excel and tap into the current DeFi structure. Yeah, so that's the main reason why we want to do this. And of course, there are others benefits as well, such as going for to get out the BTC trading pair and then create less confusion. But the more important thing is to tap into the current smart contract structure, which nowadays or the normal contracts is only supporting 4 decimals or even lesser.
Okay. I think this is very, very critical because one thing that we realized before redenomination, Danny, is that from a sats perspective, right, Satoshi, like for us to move from 4 Satoshi to 5 Satoshi is like 20% increase or 25% increase or 20% decrease. So that is like crazy, right? It is not sort of like being accepted by a lot of like traders and also DeFi usage, because you are floating between like 20, 25, like up and down. So it makes a lot of things much harder to implement on a very practical level. So as you said, it is more like a must, a necessity, but also we realize that with that, there's a lot of new things that we can do, like on the DeFi front, on the adoption front, and while we cannot promise also on the pairing front, right? Perhaps with that, we will get very good support from even more exchanges. I think that is something that we will be working on very hard. I mean, we cannot promise where we will list, but we will be working very hard on it. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And on top of that, the token redenominations is also part of the plan of our mining on XPOS as well. So we'll reveal, of course, more details after that, but everything is, we're actually taking this thing very serious. And after taking a lot of factors into considerations, we can. So yeah, I cannot reveal more at the moment of the details of the mining on XPOS, but everything is interrelated, I would say.
All right, thank you. Yeah. So also, I want to take a chance to say hello to our friends on the YouTube channel. So lots of people from Korea today. So hello to our Korean friends, and thank you once again for the great support. Korean community has been a very supportive group since 2017. So it's really nice to know that there are many people holding our token there and also caring about our progress. So thank you so much. I've been seeing a lot of Korean words. So Danny, I guess it's time to also learn Korean as well, right?
Yeah, I agree more.
Yes. So yeah. Right. So there are some questions that is being posted on YouTube channel, and we will also answer them as we go slowly, right? We are, I think, only halfway through the presentation. So a lot of people have asked about burning, buyback, and etc. So we will look into that in a few minutes time. All right. So let's turn our focus and look at the screen again, the new supply. So can we go back to the screen before? So once again, we want to emphasize the new supply is 258 million token. The previous supply of NPXS is 258 billion. So no, we did not print more token. We did not get extra token. Everyone has 1,000 to 1 supply. So it is a very direct process. So there's no what we call extra increase of supply. So far, the team has shared, Paco in fact has compiled the swap so far until yesterday. So she told me that we have 1,300 holders that have done the redenomination either on using Onchain wallet or through X wallet, which was done automatically. And there were 1,700 transfers. So probably some holders actually did 2 transfer. Maybe the first one to send like small amount to confirm it works, and then to send a big amount. We have not had any major issues, and I think the whole community has been very supportive, and the community managers has been very helpful as well. Of course, there are rooms for improvement. Like I said, our Zendesk is like we have hundreds of emails every day. So you know, the community managers are really busy. So please give us some time. And one question that someone have asked that we put it down is that when will the price be shown on EtherScan? When will the price be shown on different platforms? The price will show pretty soon. We cannot dictate when they will do it, but the communication with all this major platform and exchanges has happened for a long time. So I think we just need to respect them and let them bring it out when the time is right. So I think we expect it to be very soon. In fact, CoinGecko has supported from the first day, right, Danny, if I'm not wrong?
Yes, correct. CoinGecko, I mean, we have been contacting with CoinGecko and then very frequently, and then yeah, they did their best and help us to confront compile everything they can as soon as possible. So yeah, I mean, I would like to take this opportunity to thank CoinGecko team. Yeah, thank you for your support.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next slide, next page. So on the next page, you will see exchanges and wallets. So I know that as a token holder, we are all very concerned about which exchanges support. So, you know, the whole Telegram group has been bombarded with questions. So guys like Marcus, Sylvia, Jeremy, Lico, etc., the community managers have been answering the questions over and over again. So right now, let me just tell you guys this. The team, we have been sharing, we have been communicating with the exchanges many months ago. And there are sometimes things that we cannot say because we have to let the exchanges make the announcement first. And please rest assured that as it's been proven, all the exchanges, the major exchanges have come out to support. So, you know, behind the scenes, Melissa from our Korean team has been talking to the major Korean exchanges for a long time. Indra has been speaking to Indodex, the #1 exchange. Pedro and Joel has been speaking to Novadex, one of the biggest exchanges in Latin America, the biggest certainly in Brazil. So these are some of the things that we have been doing behind the scene. And we are very happy that the exchanges have agreed and has been very supportive. And this also shows that they also like the redenomination process, because that allows them to manage our new token, Pundi X Token, much more effectively. On the wallet front, we have many wallets that supported the on-chain non-custodial wallet automatically supports it. And these are some of the lists, and they include MetaMask and also many more. Our own X wallet did a automatic conversion. If you have MPXS, it has been automatically converted to Pundi X, and you can withdraw your Pundi X out if you like or keep it in. Our FX wallet also supports the swap on-chain, which is what I did, which is what I use personally. And X wallet requires KYC because it's under our Payment Services Act license, because it is custodial, which means that we take care of your coins. That is why our KYC process is rigorous. And for FX wallet, because it's on-chain, which means that your tokens are being stored on the blockchain and you hold your seed keys, which is the password. So your keys, your token. So that for FX wallet, which is on-chain, it doesn't require KYC. So all in all, we have good support from the exchanges and the wallet. And I would like to thank the team for really getting the job done. And very importantly, to thank the community for being so patient. I know that we are all very nervous when the tokens that we have on the exchanges have not announced. So that's why we want to thank you for the patience. Binance have announced that their support, and I think Danny, their support will happen. I think in 2 days' time, right? They are doing like stages.
Yeah, according to the announcement, I guess they will first hold hold the trading, and then they will suspend the deposit and withdrawal, and they will do the swap on behalf of the user. I guess that will be happening on a couple of days ago later. So please refer to their announcement, and we will be collaborating with finance team to make sure the whole transition progress is smooth and fast.
Yes, yeah. So your funds are definitely safe. And one reminder is that for on-chain redenomination or on-chain swap, which means that you are doing the change from NPXS to PundiX on the blockchain, there will be fees, there will be transaction fees charged by the blockchain, not by us. So when you do a redenomination on chain, there will be fees that is actually being charged by the blockchain, and PundiX and the FunctionX Foundation don't take a single cent. So please also prepare some ETH if you do the swap on chain. Yes. All right, guys, let's move on to something that it's been very exciting to see, which is the overwhelming support that you guys have given to PundiX. First, I think the holders from 2017 and 2018, the early holders, are super delighted to see this growth, and we are also super delighted to welcome the newcomers. I think it's fair to say that the recent value increase is a global phenomenon. We see in Korea, in Central America, we have a lot of guys and girls from the US that have joined us. So we have across the board increase in token holders. In fact, a statistic shows that for the top 100 token, we have been the best performing token in 2021. So I think that is great news for all of us. I think we are very, very excited to see this, this organic growth and spread of news. And so I guess it's just a great news. Yeah. Is there anything that you want to add, Danny?
Yeah, so we don't want to really talk about the token price because this is like purely the market force and it's market driven. So the team cannot control everything. But like I say, I'm a number guy. So when I look at the statistics and even the overwhelming social media interactions, I think I mean, thanks to the community, of course. I mean, you are our success factor or the hype factor to make all these things possible. And again, thanks to all the support, and then thanks for believing our vision, and then to our network and what we have done and what we have built so far. So but regardless of this the price movement, I would still like to bring all the attentions to what we have built so far and what we want to build in the future. So price is just one thing, like the result of what we have accumulated so far. But this is also a force to drive us to go to another level. So yeah, again, price is one thing, but I would like to draw your attentions to what we're gonna launch in the future. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think that you made a very good point. What we are building and what we will have product-wise in the future is the most exciting part, and it should be our focus. So let's move on to the final part of the tokenomics. Then we will start with the exciting part, which is our product, which is what we truly believe. So this is the final of the tokenomics. And it's also something that many are asking on the YouTube channel regarding to token burn, token buyback, and we have explained token redenomination. So the third in the image on the right is token redenomination, which we have talked about, and this will change 258 billion to 258 million. And you have and I have until 29th of March 2022 to do the redenomination. So you can swap anytime from now to 29th of March 2022, and the ratio will always be 1,000 to 1. So regardless of when you do it, even if you do it on the last day of 29 March 2022, you will still get the same amount. Right. The next one is actually token buyback. Token buyback is something that we have been doing in 2018 and 2019. It is actually a voluntary action by the management, the founders, and me as well. And we started the token buyback in 2020. And in fact, in 2020, 4 of the token buybacks have successfully hit the target. So how does token buyback happen? Token buyback happens when the price of Pundi X token or FX token hits a particular price, and then we'll go into the market to buy a certain amount of token, and that reduces circulating supply. So this is voluntary action. I believe because of our confidence, we will continue it. In fact, the 5th token buyback is also planned. So once we hit, I think $15 per Pundi X and also 0.75 cents for FX, we will initiate the 5th token buyback of 2021. The first is the token burn. Token burn is something that we do quarterly. So again, token burn is something that we do every 3 months. Token buyback is something that we do voluntarily, and in 2021 we will do this voluntary action every time the token hit a certain price point. Token redenomination is something that we are doing it one time only from MPXS to Pundi X, and it lasts to 29th of March 2022. So back to token burn. We will announce the token burn number in next week, and we will be doing the token burn next Saturday. So this is in line with our quarterly policy, whereby we do the burn in the next weekend of the quarterly report. And let me just share with you, until today, we have burned, I think, close to 100 million US dollar worth of Pundi X token. I don't have the exact number. I think we need to check the reports back again, but we do have also, apart from our official report, a third-party community, monitoring report. So I think it's close to 100 million token US dollar, 100 million US dollar worth of MPXS token that has already been burned. So the next burn number will be announced, and the burn will happen on next Saturday. So let me take a look. So I think it's on the 10th of April. We will perform the next quarterly burn. Yeah. So that is all for tokenomics. So let's dive into our product. So FX Wallet is launched officially. Right now, you can download FX Wallet from iOS and from Google Play. So let's take a look what FX Wallet can do. So next page, please. Let me just highlight to you 5 of the features that I find very interesting on FX Wallet. The first on the lower left is obviously our FunctionX testnet. Right now, it is still showing testnet. It will switch to mainnet as we explain the mainnet launch sequence. So FunctionX testnet/mainnet feature is on FX wallet. We can also perform swap. So for example, you have ETH and you want to swap to MPXS, you can also perform an on-chain swap, which means in a way buying one token using another. Under the hood, we are using the support from the various DEXs, decentralized exchanges, to give us the best price. So you can perform regular normal token swap, or rather buying tokens on FX wallet. The third one is actually the redenomination, which is our own swap. So you can actually swap MPXS to Pundi X on FX wallet as well. It is on chain, so there will be fees, but the fees are actually for the blockchain, for the Ethereum blockchain, not for us. So we also have the option of deposit. So what does deposit mean, guys? So for those of you that are new to FX wallet, deposit means that you can actually deposit tokens on FX wallet to earn interest. What we are doing is that we are tapping onto successful projects like Aave so that we can earn interest from the various cryptocurrency that you have, not just MPXS and not just Pundi X and FX, but also Ethereum, DAI, etc. So you will be able to earn an APY. Right now, the APY that you earn is the same as what you do directly in Aave, but in due time, it will be more, because apart from the interest that you earn directly from this decentralized platform such as Aave, we will give you our own reward in the form of FX token. So in summary, this deposit means that you can earn interest reward of more other tokens when you deposit and put your cryptocurrency, various different cryptocurrency, in the savings. And the last one, which is the red circle on the right, allows user to actually purchase different cryptocurrency using credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, and etc. So in this, we partner with a payment platform company called Ramp Network. So as you can see, FX wallet is a decentralized on-chain wallet, which means that you own your own token because you have the keys. Because it's on-chain, there's no KYC needed, and because it is connected to various blockchain, we are able to provide different services. Deposit of money, deposit of cryptocurrency, purchasing of different currency, and buying of cryptocurrency. We will introduce more feature on FX wallet and tap onto DeFi. So you will be seeing much more DeFi going on FX wallet. In fact, our own staking, which is happening on the 6th of April, Singapore time. So for some of you, it's the 5th of April, will also happen on our FX wallet. So we are very excited with FX wallet, and it presents a new entry for Pundi X and FunctionX Foundation to get into the DeFi space, as well as to leverage on the FunctionX mainnet that we will talk about next. All right, so let's go to the next image. We have given a preview saying that we will be giving a staking worth $400,000 a week to stakers of Pundi X and FX. So I think since Danny is here, it's a good opportunity to let Danny share with us on April 6th, the kickstart of Pundi X and FX token staking. How does it work and why we are doing it? So Danny, tell us.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. So again, it's Danny speaking right now. So I'm wondering if anyone can hear me due to the internet issues we have been encountering just now. So just want to check before my presentations. So if it's okay, then isn't it all right? I mean, yeah, let me ask the team. Sorry to. Okay, right.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah, okay.
great. So I will continue my presentation. So, well, so like so we have actually published this staking guide and the introductions of staking last 2 weeks. So I hope our community has the chance to really look into it and then try to understand the mechanism about it. So the main purpose of this staking program is, in fact, not to reward the stakers monetary, like in a simple words, not making you rich for that. Is this staking is like our beginning stage. So for this beginning, we would like to invite as much as possible committee members to join, to be familiarized with the whole system and setup. So we want to take it as this stage, the entry stage, as the education and adoptions. So we want to incentivize our community to embrace decentralized networks and decentralized finance. So educations and adoptions is our first goal. And the second is to cultivate the necessary risk and reward mindset. Like I said, nothing is free. Nothing is free in the network. So you need to have the right mindset about risk, reward, and responsibility. Nothing is come from a thin air. You either need to take into some risk or responsibility, and nothing is guaranteed. So we would like all those first doer or the community didn't participate any DeFi before to do this or to participate this slowly and steady. And we try to design this mechanism as simple and straightforward. It only requires user to install and open an account in FX wallet and transfer the funds to the wallet address and press the stake to begin with. Next slide, please. So like I said, we are designing a serial of staking stages. So we have the entry stage, government stage, and participation stage. And right now, we are in the entry stage. So the main purpose, like I mentioned just now, is educations, is mass adoptions, is to make people get used to what is in the decentralized network. So set up staking, harvesting, and collateralizations of assets. That's our goal of this entry stage. Next slide, please. So the team, we have allocated a 10.5 million FX tokens, which of today is the total value of the tokens is around $4 million US, give or take. So basically, this 10.5 million is the leftover portions from the 2019 FX token staking. And the team has tried to allocate this to as the education purpose. So this 10.5 million FX token will allocate 66% to PundiX holder and 34% for FX holder. And next slide. And if we divide by the confrontations allocations, which is around $400,000 worth of FX token will be distributed to the stakers for PundiX and FX token stakers. Next slide, please. So the whole staking program will take 203 days, so which is around 29 weeks. So so this whole staking program will divide into 2 stages or 2 periods. First is the staking calculation period, and second is the staking unlock period. So from 6th of April until 15th of June, from any time from this time frame, users can stake their Pundi X and FX tokens. And then for this period, the staking rewards will be accumulated on that time. But there's an unlock period. So if you claim your tokens on between 6th of April, between 15th of June, anytime you claim that tokens, you will be on your 5% of the tokens will be released immediately, and 95% of them will switch to the locked token account, and then the locked tokens will be released every 7 days, 5%. So it will take 19 weeks to be fully unlocked. So I know this is a bit complicated, so I will actually prepare an example. So next slide, please. So let's say today, assume Alice claims 100 FX on day 1. So 5%, which is 5 FX, will be released immediately, and then 95% or 95 FX will be unlocked in every 7 days. So let's say on day 8 or the first week, then 5% or 5 FX will be unlocked, and then day 15 will unlock another 5%. Day 21 unlock another 5%. So during this unlock period, users can choose any time before week 19 to claim it. So if let's say Alice didn't claim her token on day 8 instead of day 22, so she can claim 15 FX at once. So this is how the mechanism works. And for your information, every tokens, because this is a smart contract, every tokens needs an action. So in short terms, no claim, no tokens, and there's a deadline as well. So I hope everyone go to read the articles and then follow our Medium and Twitter and community channel closely to find out when is the last day to claim the tokens and when is the last day to claim the unlocked tokens, in order to protect your rewards and not let it getting forfeited. So as this is the beginning stage of the whole staking program, so the team tries to make it simple and low risk. And like I said, we have a lot of new members here, and I believe a lot of new members hasn't really participated into the DeFi. So if you are the one who participate in the DeFi or go through the decentralized network before, actually you are the top 2 or 5% of the market participants. A lot of newcomers, they don't really know about this. So we choose something very similar, something familiar and secure for them. So we choose to perform this token stakings in Ethereum network, the most popular network in the market at the start. So the other note is there are so many calculations and penalties in the DeFi staking protocol as well. So such as the liquidity providing mining in Uniswap or other protocols. There are probably impermanent loss or government staking responsibility, and penalty will be imposed. So for the entry stage, no such impermanent loss, no penalty. So user can choose to opt in and opt out anytime without obligations. We are trying to get this thing done easily as possible and try to make everyone's be able to participate and lower the barriers to do it. So please bear with us for the clumsy setups if any. And like I said, this is just the beginning of our staking stage. So we have more to announce, but let's go through this baby step first. And last but not least, please do your own research and be safe in space. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Yeah. So I think that is a very elaborated explanation. And as you say, Danny, everyone should go and read the articles and the guidelines to understand why we do it, what are the risks involved, and also DYOR, do your own research. I have 2 points that I gather from you. One is that user of Pundi X token and also FX token will be able to stake reward worth of 400,000 US dollar worth per week for 10 weeks, which is amount to about 4 million US dollar. So this is point number one. Point number two is that I think you mentioned in your article, we are doing what we call a pre-governance staking and a single pairing staking. I think that is very important, and it is only that after you participate in DeFi, you realize how important this is, because it is a single pair, there is no impermanent loss. Because it is pre-governance, there is no governance penalty. So these two almost guarantee that there is no losses on the staking part, because what we want is for people to understand how staking works first. So I think that is very, very important. No impermanent loss and no governance penalty for the first stage, because we want to reward people without the risk, without the punishment, because it is important, because there are many people that are new to DeFi. So I think this is very meaningful, and probably those people that have gone through DeFi and that is senior, like experience in our community, understand this. But I think not everyone understand this. The majority won't. So I think we are giving a way to let people, quote unquote, make money without the kind of like crazy risk that we see on DeFi. That is my understanding, Danny.
Yeah, correct. And I would like to add on top of Zach's comment as well. So in DeFi or in decentralized network, like I said, risk and reward, so and responsibility. So when you get something, you need to pay in something, and then every actions you have done needs gas, needs fee. So before you take something into account, you need to seriously go through a cost and benefit analysis. So what do you think is worth, and then it is something you need to do. So instead of following the crowd in some other network, so you need to really sit down and then think independently, like what is the right thing to do and what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing not to do. And your tokens, your assets, so no claim, no tokens. So these are the basic rules we have been through a lot, so we sort of like understand this. But for a lot of newcomers, new community members, I think this is a learning curve and a rather long one. So we would like to take this 10 weeks time before our mainnet, our blockchain, and then our new mining on XPOS in place. So we would like you, our community, to get used to, get familiarized with this. So this is our main motive, I would say.
Yeah, I think really one has to understand one's action and be responsible of it. We try our best to educate, and I think we are a safe and supportive community. But I think one has to learn how to be responsible and take care of their tokens themselves. So I think, Danny, we appreciate that reminder.
Yeah, I think this is the start of one. I think this is one of the milestones for mass adoptions.
All right.
Yeah.
So next slide, the future of Pundi X and FX. We talked a lot about why we are so excited about the product, and tell us, how do you think about the future of Pundi X and FX token utilities will be?
Well, this is actually a rather big topic, I would say. So I try to make an example. Okay, so everyone's actually sees how the post point of sales is working, right? So when users transact with point of sales, the post systems or post device, so after receiving the transaction request, the post device needs to upload the transaction to the network through the internet, and later on confirm the transactions through the payment gateway. So if we divide the processes, it can be divided into two parts. So first is the uploading part. You need to go through the internet or the network, is even open or closed or LAN network through. And then secondly, you need to go through that network and then send that transactions for the payment gateway to go through the transactions. So I'm using this example as in, this is basically what we have been trying to do. So MPXX, the FX tokens is actually the network or the internet fee. So every transactions, when Zach wants to buy a coffee in Ghana, for example, so the transactions will send a request through our FX network through to the MPXX network. And then MPXX network then will go through a payment processing, which is a payment gateway authentications. So in this case, we can see FX is actually a network fee, which is also similar to the example as internet fee. And then PundiX tokens is used for the payment gateway. So it's more like a Visa transaction fee. So the potential, of course, is huge, as in everyone needs transactions. Every day payments is going, every day crypto sells and buys keep going. So as we also want to extend this so-called decentralized strategy of how blockchain grows to our upcoming XPOS growth strategy as well. As Zach has mentioned, so a XPOS on mining or XPOS is growing and developing. So with this, more XPOS will be deployed and then more transactions will be transacted. And with the FX Core mainnet launch, user will be able to enjoy the network served by FX network and then enjoy a faster, cheaper, and more accessible network. And at the same time, create more utility of both FunctionX and Pundi X token and token burn. So I think this is a big move for both FX and Pundi X token and for the industrial as well. I think this faster payment processing speed and clearer payment gateway could bring crypto payment and the crypto adoptions to the next level. So in short, with our upcoming functions of FX mainnet and mining on XPOS, more Pundi X tokens and more FX token will be used.
Okay, I think that's very important. The utility of Pundi X token and also FX token and how it coincide with XPOS and also the mainnet. All right. Thank you, Danny. And I think right now we will move on to our final section, which is the one last thing that we want to announce.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thank you. So the session has gone over 90 minutes. I guess it is now our longest quarterly report session so far. I've seen on the YouTube channel. So hi from Brazil. I would like to do a special shout out to our friend that actually put up the Pundi XPOS banner in Brazil. That is awesome. And another friend shout out that, you know, we have to put the usage into Nigeria. And I think Nigeria is a huge market and we have been very focused on the expansion in West Africa. So lots of Korean friends as well. So right now we are in our final chapter of today's report, which is the FX Mainnet launch. FX Mainnet launch will not be delayed anymore. Right now, we are preparing for the launch. When we say we, it will entail me and you and every FX token holder. So we will collectively launch the mainnet. What does it mean? Guys, let's go to the next page. Right. So before I talk about the stage 1, 2, and 3, I would like to thank everyone for your patience and for your understanding. Building a optimal and secure blockchain has been a huge challenge, whereby we took up, whereby Pete and our CTO and the tech team has spent many hours working from it. Of course, it is no excuse and it is time. So the mainnet launch will be very important, and the most important thing is to secure the security and the safety of the network. Because if this network is not secure, if a malicious attacker attacks the system, everything that we built for, including the value of the token, will go downhill. It will be a waterfall for the network and also the token value. So how do we secure the network? We will launch the network by securing it together with all the token holders. We will have a number. The magic number is actually 75 million FX. Once we can get 75 million FX staking in the pre-governance staking, it shows that we have enough stakers to launch the network. Please take some time to digest this statement. So what it means is that when 75 million tokens are being staked on the staking program that Danny has mentioned, it shows that 20% of FX token holders are actually participating in the staking, which means that if the reward is good enough, right now the collective reward is actually $4 million for 10 weeks. If this reward is attractive enough to mobilize 20% of the token to go into on-chain staking, which means that we can mobilize this 20% of the token to secure the network. Obviously, the more token securing the network, the better. If we can reach more than 20%, 50%, 80% to secure the network, it is better. But in reality, not everyone would participate. So we feel that for 1 out of every 5 token is participating in the network, it is a good enough figure. We have used several blockchain as reference, including ETH 2.0, Ethereum 2.0. So what it means is that on the 6th of April, Tuesday next week, Singapore time, the staking will commence. And once we have over 75 million FX being staked in the staking pool, the launch will happen, which means that this 75 million will move to stake on the validator on the mainnet, which means that everyone that has moved will help to secure the mainnet. So once the 75 million token move to secure the mainnet, we will be creating and confirming block together. So the first block will be introduced right away. So what we can see visually is that once we secure the network and once mainnet starts to mine the first block, we will be seeing on the Explorer the first block of the network being created. When the first block is created, there will be tokens being mined as well in every block. That is the nature of proof of stake network. And that is also the reward the miners, in our case, the validators and the delegators will be earning money. In that sense, you can see that both Pundi X token and FX token is moving into a what we call a DeFi oriented token, whereby holders will be able to earn reward from XPOS as a mining service. Of course, you need to own an XPOS as well. You will be able to earn through the reward model that Danny have mentioned. You will also be able to earn tokens through providing liquidity on Uniswap, which we have not touched about, but we will announce it in the coming weeks as well. And you will obviously earn FX token through participating in governance. So once we hit 75 million FX on the reward, staking reward, it will be, mainnet will be launched. So why do we choose this step? Because the security of the network is very, very critical. Once we launch the mainnet, we want to make sure that the FX token are essentially voting power. So we need at least 20% of the community token to be part of the voting power to feel that the network is being secure enough. So that is our first stage of the mainnet launch. So what we will do next week is that we will build a countdown timer to count the number of FX token being staked in the reward pool that starts Tuesday. And once 20% of the FunctionX FX token is being staked in the pool, we will kickstart the mainnet launch. That is the stage one, what we call the governance of the FX core. So for the newcomers, what is an FX core? FX, as you know, FunctionX is has the ability for everyone to create different FunctionX blockchain. So today, another team of blockchain companies can actually create FunctionX blockchain through our cloud, FX cloud system. So FX core, if I may, is the mother of all FunctionX blockchain. It is the first FunctionX blockchain, and it is the FunctionX blockchain that connects all FunctionX blockchain that will be created in the future. That is why we call it FX core, the core main backbone chain. So the first stage will be launched through what we call the governance of FX core, when we get 20% of FX token from the community to be part of the governance. When you are part of the governance, you help secure the network and you help earn FX token as well. Obviously, it is a pretty huge topic. All of us need to digest and understand further. And I think it is very important when you hold our token, because I think you need to understand the gist and what we do on our product. And I believe through that, you would have even more confidence on what we are doing. Second stage is actually XPOS on FX core, which means that right after we launch the governance of FX core, we jointly govern the FunctionX mainnet together. We will then quickly plug XPOS into the mainnet, which means that the next time, as Danny said, someone from Ghana buys his coffee or her coffee, that transaction will be recorded on chain. Everything will be recorded on chain. So this is the second stage. And this is what we call a stepwise launch. And I think we learned that through Ethereum 2.0, that it is a very practical launch solution. and it is a launch process with huge community participation. I think that is important. And for those that are part of this launch, of course, you will be rewarded with extra tokens. And for those of you that have tried and participated in our beta 1 and beta 2, you will be prioritized. The third stage is actually the DEXs, the multi-chain, the synthetic tokens, and the multi-validator that we have. So I'm very excited because this blockchain will not just be secured together by the community, it will also be able to be used on real life use cases, whereby whether someone is from Ghana or in Seoul using the XPOS or our FX wallet, your transaction will be viewed on the Explorer live on the network. And the third stage will be the introduction of various, what I would say, advanced feature on the mainnet. So guys, let's recap what's going to happen in the next few weeks. First, we will publish an article about this multi-stage step-up mainnet launch in the next 72 hours for you to understand and also more detailed explanation of what I've said. So that will come out in the next 72 hours. And on Tuesday, 6th of April, the staking process will kickstart. So the staking process will allow stakers, for those of you that hold Pundi X token and also FX token, to earn 400,000 US dollar every week. And that staking process is a single pairing pre-governance staking, which I think in a very summarized way is a very safe staking process. But you are strongly encouraged to read about it. So once that staking hits 20% of FX Function X token supply, we will start the mainnet. The reason is because that 20% have voting power, and you will vote and help secure the blockchain. And in the process, earn even more tokens. So that will happen. So I'm sure many of you will ask, so when does mainnet launch happen? So mainnet launch could happen in days after 6th of April. It could happen 1 or 2 weeks later. It depends when we hit that 20% participation. Then we switch on mainnet within 7 days of that. So I think it's a very secure, organized way to do it that will give us more security, more participation from the community, which will be very good in terms of mining new tokens, as well as more exposure on what we are doing as well. So that is the mainnet launch sequence that we have, and you will see all this action start to culminate or make make sense, visual sense in next week, especially on the 6th of April. So guys, that is the mainnet. I'm very excited about it, and we will finally see the coming of the mainnet. And I believe that this mainnet will be very competitive, and it has real life use case, starting with our own product. In fact, the mining strategy of XPOS that we have will also go closely with the mainnet. So lots of use cases in the mainnet itself. So I'm sure right now you have a lot of questions. Just throw the questions on all the social media network, and in 72 hours we will publish a guideline, followed by on the 6th April, which is the staking process. With that staking, the countdown of mainnet will start officially as well. So guys, Danny, do you have anything to add? I think we are about 2 hours now.
Yeah. So one last thing. So this mainnet is about safety. So people are asking us why we don't want to, just launch it like this, like, just like we introduce an app in App Store or in Android store. So that's not like that. So once we put on the mainnet on blockchain, it's public and is all the transaction is they are just irreversible. They are just permanent there. So we need to make sure everything is going smoothly, and then it's not controlled or by used by those malicious hackers, try to harm the whole community and the token as well. So I don't know whether I mean we will actually introduce and illustrate what is point of sales proof of stake POS system. So the basic idea of proof of stake is how many tokens the tokens are voting power. So how many tokens you are put into the network to prove or to vote that transaction is legit. So let's say today we only put 1 million tokens, FX tokens in the FX core. So what if the other malicious hacker, so he or she accumulated like 3 millions, and then they just put in their tokens in the FX network. So ends out the total tokens staked or voted in the network has 4 million, and then that malicious person has 75% of the voting power. So imagine what will gonna happen. So he or she might change the transactions, like Zex tokens. I would like to change the transactions and then grab any tokens in Zex wallet to my wallet. So this could be disaster. So he can override the network and control and even replicate the transactions he or she wants. This is very I would say very critical and important. So like I said, this is this is a normal for blockchain launching, but it is not normal for normal community members. So like I said, before the whole staking, firstly, mass adoption and as educations must be in first place. So I know I might be very nagging at this point, as in I keep mentioning about education, mass adoptions. We need to take things step by step, but this is really important to our mainnet blockchain and even mining on XPOS. So this is a long learning curve, and we would like to take this opportunity to calm every any community that is that wants to launch that wants us to launch this mainnet, or change everything to FunctionX network, and then for lesser gas fee or faster speed. I know this is good for everyone. I mean, we do know that, but we do bear in mind, and we are mindful that our community, and probably some of the communities are not that fast or smart like you guys has been participated to the blockchain or the decentralized finance. It takes time. And I think we have been, along the way, we have been taking so much efforts on it. And then again, I would like to put safety always come first as my ending. So yeah, so we would like to launch this network and mainnet and expose new feature safely. So that's my comments, Zach.
Thank you. Yeah, I think Danny always emphasize on learning, understanding fully, and taking things in a very holistic way. So guys, it's already almost 2 hours, so I just want to wrap up today's agenda. First, welcome all of new holders, new XPOS user. We have an even growing community today from before. So I want to welcome you. For those of you that have stayed on late to watch this video, thank you, much appreciated. Today's agenda is actually XPOS deployment. We have seen a growth in XPOS deployment. more master distributor, and XPOS will be a mining machine that will earn reward for distributor and merchant. Second is actually our new Pundi X token. I want to thank the community for supporting this, for approving this through the polls, and we have done the swap successfully with exchanges and wallet support. We will continue our quarterly burn, and the next burn will be next Saturday, and we will also continue our voluntary buyback which is the 5th buyback in 2021. The staking will start in 6 April next week, whereby you can stake Pundi X and FX token, and the FX token, once the stake is 20% of the FX token supply, we will start the mainnet. FX wallet, please download it if you haven't done it. There's lots of DeFi features, and also you can stake and put on interest in it. The very important thing is the FunctionX mainnet. FunctionX mainnet will start the countdown officially on 6 April, and we encourage everyone to stake. If you have the token, stake on the reward system. We need 20% of the staking amount to kickstart the blockchain. It is very important because we together help secure the network. The network is a decentralized network whereby everyone can come in to be a staker to help create the next block. So it is very important for no person, including the foundation, to control the blockchain. No one should control the blockchain. Therefore, we need more stakers in the blockchain. So from 6 April, the countdown of mainnet will begin. Once we hit 20%, it could be a few days. It could be slightly longer. But once we hit that, mainnet will be initiated immediately. And with that, I think this wraps up our session for Q1. Thank you guys once again. And I think a happy Easter, stay safe, and have a good weekend. Thank you guys. Much appreciated.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. Have a good Easter. Thank you very much.